When the trial began, the courtroom was silent. Families of missing women sat shoulder to shoulder, and Rachel's mother clutched her daughter's silver cross. For the first time, David Carter walked in shackled, expressionless, the man accused of stalking, abducting, and destroying lives. No one knew that the testimony to come would reveal even darker truths. On March 15, 2021, Carter stood trial in Wake County Superior Court. He faced charges of first-degree kidnapping, first-degree murder of Rachel Miller, first-degree murder of Melissa Turner, the Georgia jogger missing since 2016, and multiple counts of unlawful surveillance and stalking. It was one of the most high-profile trials Raleigh had seen in decades. Convicting without a body had once been the prosecution's greatest hurdle, but with Rachel's remains recovered in the woods, they had the smoking gun they needed. Assistant District Attorney Karen Douglas opened powerfully, telling the jury, "This case is about control, about a man who hunted women, watched women, and took women. He planned Rachel Miller's abduction, he documented it, he kept trophies, and he thought he would never be caught. But today, you will see what he left behind. Today, Rachel Miller and Melissa Turner have a voice." Carter's defense clung to its only possible narrative, insisting the state's case was built on theory. Yes, there are tapes. Yes, there are disturbing images. But none showed David Carter ending Rachel's life. None show him ending Melissa Turner's life. You cannot convict a man of murder based on assumptions. It was a gamble planting doubt, but the evidence soon crushed it. The jury sat in stunned silence as the October 18th tape flickered on the monitors. Rachel running, the SUV trailing, the struggle. Gasps echoed when Carter forced her inside the vehicle. Then, the dirt road. The jury watched as the SUV pulled into frame from a second hidden camera. The implication was unmistakable. This had been planned in advance. One juror later said, "That was the moment I knew." You don't need to see the final act to understand what happened. Evil doesn't need subtitles. The state called women who had survived Carter's stalking a gym member from 2015, a college student from 2017, a jogger who said Carter once followed her for miles before she ducked into a convenience store. Each testimony showed escalation. Carter wasn't a man who snapped, he was a man who hunted. Then came the Georgia connection. Prosecutors introduced the Georgia driver's license found in Carter's storage unit. It belonged to Melissa Turner, a 24-year-old who vanished in Savannah in June 2016. Her family sat in court clutching photos of her in her college graduation gown. Investigators revealed that one of Carter's tapes, dated just weeks before her disappearance, showed Melissa jogging along a wooded trail. The courtroom shifted. It wasn't just Rachel. It wasn't just North Carolina. This was a man whose predations stretched across state lines. When Rachel's mother took the stand, her voice broke as she said, "She was my baby. She trusted the world to be kind. She never thought someone was waiting for her. I just want her back." Her sister Emily added, "We always said we'd find her. I just wish we found her in time." Their words reminded the jury that Rachel was not a statistic. She was a daughter, a sister, a runner. Through it all, David Carter sat still, unblinking. Reporters noted that the only time he reacted was when Rachel's necklace, the silver cross pendant, was displayed. He smirked, a gesture so small, yet one that chilled everyone in the room. For weeks, the jury weighed the evidence. The defense repeated its refrain: no footage of the actual killings, no direct cause of death. But then, just as the jury neared a decision, a shocking development reshaped the trial. On the 19th day, investigators revealed they had followed up on an anonymous tip. In a remote patch of forest, 30 miles outside Raleigh, they unearthed a shallow grave. Inside was Rachel's body. Beside her, the partial remains of Melissa Turner. The evidence was overwhelming: 2 women buried together, linked by Carter's tapes, his trophies, and his SUV. Rachel's mother wept openly. Melissa's family embraced through tears. The defense's last argument collapsed. On June 12, 2021, the jury returned. David Carter was found guilty on all counts: first-degree murder of Rachel Miller, first-degree murder of Melissa Turner, kidnapping, stalking, and unlawful surveillance. The courtroom erupted. Rachel's mother collapsed into her husband's arms. Melissa's family sobbed. Justice, finally. 2 weeks later, Judge Caroline Harper delivered the sentence. David Carter, you terrorized women. You stalked them, you abducted them, and you ended their lives. For these crimes, this court sentences you to life without the possibility of parole. Carter didn't flinch. As deputies led him away, he whispered 2 chilling words. There are more. In the aftermath, Rachel's family launched the Run for Rachel Foundation, advocating for women's safety, better tracking of stalking offenders, and awareness campaigns on jogging safety. Every October, on the anniversary of her disappearance, hundreds gather in Raleigh for a memorial run, retracing Rachel's familiar 3-mile loop. Melissa Turner's family created a scholarship in her name, helping young women pursue athletics in Savannah. Their lives, though cut short, became catalysts for change. But even in justice, questions linger. In Carter's notebooks, there were names never matched to any known victims. On his tapes, there were faces still unidentified. And in his final words, there are more. Some investigators believe Carter may be linked to as many as a dozen disappearances across the Southeast. Cases still cold, families still waiting. Rachel Miller's story began as one jogger's morning run, a run that should have ended at her front door. Instead, it ended in tragedy. But through her family's persistence, Melissa's family's courage, and the tireless work of investigators, their cases exposed a predator who thought he was untouchable. Rachel was a teacher, a daughter, a sister, a runner, and now a name that fuels change. To this day, her mother says, "When I run, I feel her with me. Every step is for her, and for every woman who deserves to come home safe." If Rachel's story moved you, share your thoughts in the comments. If you run, if you walk, if you've ever felt the fear of being followed, know that you are not alone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us as we continue to uncover the cases that must never be forgotten. Because sometimes the truth is buried, and sometimes it's captured on tape.